And welcome back
to Marriage Beyond the Veil, day number 53.
Okay.
All right, well, today I've sort of been what some people call nesting, prepping.
Doing a lot of meal prep. Has surgery tomorrow. So her right wing will be out of commission for a minute. So she wanted to make sure that she got a jump on things.
I want to make sure you have plenty of food to eat.
That is so wonderful. I would call her from the sick bed and make her fix me something.
So, yes, my dominant hand will be down for hopefully just a few days, maybe a little longer. And that's what I sort of wanted to focus on. When you're in a marriage, your dominant side.
Okay.
So when I say your dominant side, what do you think of?
Well, when you say dominant side, the first thing that comes to my mind is what your strongest attributes are.
Very good.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Dominant personality traits, the things that you bring to a marriage, but definitely dominant personality traits, because I think when you go into, and I know when you go into a relationship, you come already sort of built a certain way. And so if you're a dominant type of personality, then going into a relationship, you're smirking, and I'm wondering why you're smirking.
Well, I started thinking about other things, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So what? What were you thinking about?
Well, I digress. Continue.
No, and so that's what I was thinking about. That dominant personality, that dominant side of you.
Of me or of you?
Of anybody in a relationship. I know what are my dominant sides?
Khakis.
34 years, and that's what I get.
Your dominant side?
What would you say are some of my more dominant traits? Personality traits.
I yield to you.
Seriously?
I do.
Oh my goodness. Okay. You're supposed to, I can't believe you don't have not one thing you can think of.
Were you dominant?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are my stronger attributes? What are my stronger traits?
What have you told me they were? No.
Fired.
You are very, very loving. You are very generous and giving. You are very thoughtful. And you're very determined about who you are, what you want, and where you're headed.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. That's what she's told me.
Well, I would say some of the more dominant things that you brought to our relationship was some structure.
Okay.
Because I'm sort of whimsical and sort of, can be all over the place sometimes. You're very much more structured than I am.
Okay.
I think you brought a lot more of the faith aspect to our relationship. Even though I love God, there was a stronger understanding of what that meant once I married you.
Okay.
I also think that you also brought the funny, because you're hilarious. You can be hilarious.
Yeah, I come from funny folks.
Yeah, and so I come from a very sort of reserved. My dad can be funny too, but I mean they're just more sort of laid back kind of comedy. Your family is hilarious. I mean I've never laughed so much in my life. So I would say those are some of the dominant things that you brought to our relationship.
But when you say dominant, I think dominant tends to have more of a negative connotation.
It can.
So when you say dominant, I think probably a more palatable thing to say is just strength.
Okay, well, I was thinking of my dominant side.
Right. And I get that.
I use the word dominant.
Yes.
Stop
scaring me.
Because I'm right-handed doesn't mean a negative thing.
No, it does not.
But dominant can be
perceived that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not in this instance.
No, but when you're talking about your dominant side being incapacitated.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. What if the things that you were dominant about or strong about were incapacitated? How would that impact the relationship? Isn't that a thought?
Okay, well, we're about to find out.
Okay, until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same, and keep my baby in your prayers.
Have a good evening.
Bye bye.